MGF Customs and Reviews.
What's going on, guys? It's Michael MGF, and today we're doing another custom LEGO minifigure showcase video, and this time I've got a brand new Iron Man 3 suit to add to the Iron Legion, and this is the Mark 41 Bones suit, and it's nicknamed Bones because it kind of splits up in what you can call multiple different bones to attack enemies, obviously when Tony's not in it, but yeah, so I do apologize for the lack of videos, as I do try to get videos out every 3 to 4 days, and it hasn't really been working out for me, as I am actually waiting on some stuff to come in, and that stuff I'm going to be reviewing, and you guys are going to probably really like it. So while I wait on that, I am just going to pretty much make a few customs here and there, some customs that you guys are really going to like. So to start off with this series of customs while we wait for what's to come, we've got the Mark 41, and without further ado, let's go ahead and move on to the 360. Alright, so here we go, and you know, when you walk out of the theater, the Mark 41 was really unique, and obviously, you know, you may not actually know what suit it is, but that's why I'm bringing it to you in a LEGO form. Maybe not necessarily, maybe the real reason is because this suit was awesome, and it took out multiple different, actually 4 Extremis soldiers by splitting apart in multiple different sections, and that was really cool because we've never seen that before, and that really stood out to me as being one of the coolest, if not the coolest suits out of all the ones we saw in that ending scene. And I mean, this armor is honestly the one that I wanted to prioritize because not only was its capability unique, but the color scheme. It's a straight up gold and black, and that is obviously different than any other suit we've seen before. Get a lot of variety in the Iron Legion, and that's why I'm going to cover as many suits as possible. But you can see that this suit, once again, this LEGO figure here utilizes the Amazing Armory Mark 7 torso armor. And in doing so, you guys, if you have seen my previous Iron Man minifigures, you'd know that I've used this technique before, where I take the Mark 7 suit, or the Mark 7 torso armor, and I make it look like a different suit. I've done it with the Mark 5, I've done it with the Mark 42, I've done it with Iron Patriot, etc. And I mean, it definitely looks really awesome, and I make it look like something it's obviously not. And you can see, obviously, you're going to lose some of the accuracy in terms of design and in terms of proportions, but it's still really nice, and it still looks like an Iron Man suit and captures the definitive look that I was going for. And then you can see the arc reactor and the eyes, they are painted in the same light blue color that I've used for all my Iron Man suits, obviously excluding certain few like the Mark 1, Iron Patriot, and Mark 40. But then you can see the legs, I mean, I actually took my own approach on the legs, or at least the toe area, because I took a look at the reference picture and I was like, it's not symmetrical. And when I say that, this area right here was not the same, and I tried to capture that on the figure and I didn't like the result. So I decided to take my own, I decided to take my own approach on it, and I added my own design, and what you see on the toes there is my own design, and it looks good. I definitely think it continues the pace of the figure nicely, better than the original ones did, so I'm definitely happy with those. But you can see the rest of the legs are pretty much recognizable to that of the actual suit, and the rest of the legs are actually symmetrical, and the sides of the legs are actually the same on both sides, no difference really. Obviously, they're not exactly the same because this is all completely custom painted, but you guys know that. You can see the back of the legs, they don't have a whole lot of detail, but they still have enough to keep the flow of the figure going. And that's really all I ask for when it comes to some sections of the figures that don't require that much detail. And then you can see the arms. The arms pretty much have like a set of 3 lines that wrap around, and you can see they actually connect into these separate squares. They're not exactly separate. I mean, that's why they're not separate, because these lines connect into them. But I mean, they're still really cool, and they kind of add a nice closure to each line. So that's pretty nice. And then you can see I got a little bit of detail underneath each set of these 3 lines right there, and of course symmetrically on the other side there. So pretty awesome. And you can see I've got some gold right here and here on both sides, of course, and what this is doing is pretty much, it is accurate, as there is a good amount of gold in between, you know, like around the area right above the thighs. And I captured that by adding a certain amount of gold on the lower torso area in the corners and in the corners of the belt. And that's definitely a nice implementation, as it does look great. And you can see the shoulders are outlined in a silvery gunmetal color, the same color that the back of the helmet there is outlined in. And speaking of the back of the helmet does have a set of 2 like gold plates, and both of which I tried to make look pretty identical. And you can see they actually have a set of black angles on each one of those, and there are 5 actually of these, like, you know, angles on each one that I painted on, and they are accurate and do look pretty nice. And you can see the facial mask is really not too complicated, as all I had to do was paint this area right here black, the traditional facial slit black, and then I painted the actual lines on the helmet there. And the lines, obviously, might look a little bit hard to do to some of you, but I mean, eventually, considering I have a lot of experience in doing this, I was able to, you know, add the black lines fairly quickly, and it wasn't too big of a challenge. So they definitely turned out pretty nice and are pretty definitive to the overall concept of the helmet. And then you can see the back of the torso armor in general doesn't have a lot of color to it, but that's because the actual suit doesn't have a lot of color to it, because it's strictly black and gold with some gunmetal and, you know, silver here and there. And that is obviously represented on the back, that limitation of color, but it still looks nice, as I did add quite a bit of intricate and unique lines. And then you can see the top of the helmet does actually have a decent share of detail by itself. You can see right there it has a little bit of gunmetal going on. But yeah, other than that, there's really not much else to the Mark 41. It's not a simple suit, but it's still, you know, it's just really something that I wanted to do, because it's really, like I said many times, it is unique and really cool, and that's why I made it a priority to be my next one. One other thing I want to touch upon is that the hands were originally black, but then I tried on gray and I was like, hey, gray looks better. So I stuck with gray, and gray definitely adds a bit more color to the overall figure, because there's only a little bit of grayish silver on the figure. But yeah, there is the Mark 41 bone suit. And for those of you wondering what's underneath the helmet, it's just a basic Tony Stark head. So hopefully he doesn't try to activate that splitting apart feature that the Mark 41 has while he's in it.
I am the Mandarin.
Yeah, about that. Jarvis, where's Bones?
On his way, sir.
Who's Bones? Jarvis, send the rest while you're at it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now blow marks 39, 17, 40, and 38.
No!
You, of all people, should know that not even that will kill me. Well, I gotta get onto the Avengers too, so let's just pretend like it did, okay? What? No, I'm alive.
Shane?
What did you just do? Problem, people in theater? Alright guys, so that about wraps up this custom LEGO Iron Man 3 showcase video, and something I really haven't covered a lot in my recent showcases is these minifigures are not for sale unless you're told otherwise, and this is simply because these minifigures require an intense amount of time and effort, and I've been working on this one since the 5th of this month as it is, and I started really early because, I mean, these minifigures, like I said, because of the time they take, I really want to get them done, and because I work on them on and off and not constantly, it makes the figures better, because if I am to just work on it straight, I'll get tired or I'll get bored, or, you know, who knows, and as a result, the minifigure may not be top quality, so I can't do that process multiple times per figure, and I do apologize to those of you interested in acquiring one of these minifigures, but it's not humanly possible as I'm only one person with 2 hands. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this video or found yourself inspired to make your own rendition of this suit, be sure to leave this video a like below, as it does go a long way, and if you want to even show your support even more, be sure to leave your opinion in the comment section below, as that is even more awesome, and I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, once again, I do apologize for the lack of videos, guys. I am trying to pick it up, and like I said, I've got some stuff on the way you guys are really going to like. So while we wait on that, I'm going to go ahead and show you some pretty cool figures that I have up my customizer sleeve. But yeah, so I just posted a vlog on MGF Extra, so link to that will also be in the description below. The link to my second channel, actually, just in general, is always the first link in the description below. And you can also follow me on Twitter and Facebook, as I do give updates on what I'm doing every day. So if you, like, for example, the Mark 41 here, people over on Twitter and Facebook have already seen it. So if you want to be one of those people, be sure to go ahead and follow me on Twitter or Facebook, whichever you prefer. But yeah, so I think I'll leave it off on that, and I will see you later. Alright.
Bye! Hey man, don't forget about us.
Don't worry, I have not left you guys out. With the Mark 41, I already announced it, it's the Mark 41, gosh damn it. This is the wrong side of the base. Well, actually, you really can't even tell. Anyway, damn it. You can see they're right there, and look, good God. I was doing good too. It is really remarkable. God, can those dishes be any louder? I doubt you could even hear them though, great. The bottom. But yeah, there you go. That is pretty much it for the Mark 41 suit. For the love of God, I prioritized it and made it, you know, my priority. How many times did I say you know? One, but anyway, you can see this suit. God. Oh, the Mark 5, it was originally a Mark 7 armor, and you can see if you looked. Ah, God. You know, these suits could be like the Mark 42 Iron Patriot. Igor, get down. Get down.